Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. My third letter for the Aalmi Shura Tabligh, specially for Hazrat Maulana Ibrahim Damat Barkatuhum. Hazrat, I hope you are fully engaged in the work of Deen, tirelessly striving day and night to save the Ummah from the fire of hell. I hope this letter reaches you well. In this letter, I humbly have a request and some questions, and I expect this entire letter will reach you. Hazrat, I don't know if you are aware of this matter. If you aren't, then this letter should bring it to your attention. There is a person named Yusuf Vapi from Vapi, Gujarat, who has caused a new fitna discord in the Ummah, which has deeply saddened and distressed our respected ulama scholars. Yusuf Vapi calls various ulama from morning to evening, records their conversations and posts them on social media, and then comments on these recordings in his own words. Let me give you an example. Any ulama connected to Darul Uloom Deoband who maintains a neutral stance regarding the Shura and Imarat administrative councils, Yusuf Vapi contacts them. For instance, he called our Peer Mufti Salman Mansoor Puri Damat Barkatuhum and was disrespectful towards him. He similarly called Mufti Affan Mansoor Puri Damat Barkatuhum and behaved rudely with him. He was also disrespectful towards Peer Zulfiqar Naqshbandi Damat Barkatuhum and Maulana Mahmud Damat Barkatuhum, even using foul language. My question is, can't the respected members of the Shura stop him? Or has he been granted permission to do all this? Our World Education Center Darul Uloom Deoband, whose knowledge has spread across the world and due to which countless people have been saved from the fire of hell, is now being targeted. Why is this happening? You yourself have stated in your speeches that respect during disagreements is essential. So what kind of respect is this? Major ulama around the world avoid getting involved in the Shura and Nizamuddin debates, and their simple stance is that people should work for Allah's cause whatever they wish. Both paths are right. Yet, despite this, our senior Akabir elder are being insulted and criticized. Recently, I'm sure you heard Mufti Taqi Usmani Damat Barkatuhum's statement after his meeting with Maulana Saad Damat Barkatuhum, a meeting that lasted for hours. However, only a 7-minute clip was publicly released in which Hazrat Damat Barkatuhum clearly said that both sides should respect each other and that both Jamaats are correct in their own way. He also advised against speaking ill of one another or harboring suspicions. Second point, despite so many references showing our ulama agrees that both Jamaats should carry on with their work, why are the Nizamuddin Markaz Jamaat being expelled from Gujarat and Karnataka? Why don't you advise your Shura companions to show respect? Third point, the continuous questioning of Darul Ifta religious ruling body should now come to an end. You know very well that Maulana Saad Damat Barkatuhum's speeches last 3 to 4 hours. If you observe his 24 hours routine every day after Fajr, Hazrat Maulana Saad Damat Barkatuhum give a 2-hour speech. After that, he spends 2 to 3 hours in consultation meetings. Around 12:30 p.m., he sends off Jamaats in which he spends 30 minutes explaining the etiquettes of going out, emphasizing respect in all circumstances. Despite this, Hazrat leads the 5 daily prayers, leads Taraweeh in Ramadan, and conducts a class on Hayatus Sahaba, the lives of the companions. Late at night, which often ends around 11 p.m., in between, he attends both national and international consultations, listening to reports, and also teaches Bukhari Sharif at the Madrasa Kashiful Ulum in Nizamuddin. Now, tell me, would such a person who is occupied with Deen 24/7 even entertain the thoughts of disrespecting someone? If a Jamaat group is dedicated to find faults in a person, then there will be no one left in the world who hasn't made mistakes. A significant question arises here. Has the World Shura considered Maulana Saad Damat Barkatuhum to be an angel? Na'uzubillah. Implying that he can never make mistakes? This seems to be the reason that any small mistake on his part prompts everyone to rush to Darul Ifta. Let's now discuss his children. His 3 sons, Maulana Yusuf, Maulana Saeed and Maulana Ilyas, have you heard their speeches? They carry the same passion and strive with the same effort as Maulana Ilyas. A man who has raised his children in such a manner, do you think he would leave the public to fend for themselves? Now let's talk about Maulana Saad Damat Barkatuhum's strictness. I would like to share something from my college life. Every head of an institution is strict. whether it's a college principal, a madrasa head, or a company CEO. They all set rules for their subordinates, such as no photography in class or no talking, and post them on notice boards, making them compulsory. If you take this to Darul Ifta, they will give a ruling based on Sharia. Similarly, Hazrat Maulana Sa'ad Damat Barakatuhum imposes strictness on his companions. If Hazrat were lenient, every Jamaat would go out with a camera and record their activities, which would harm the spirit of Tabligh preaching. Even with such strictness, if people involved in Tabligh still take videos and photos, then imagine what would happen if Hazrat showed leniency in strictness. It would be a disaster. Hazrat's intent is to guide the masses towards piety. Even if it's technically permissible to use a camera to read the Quran on a mobile, he discourages it because the general public may not handle it properly. Despite these efforts, a Shura Jamaat brings such issues to Darul Ifta, which issues a fatwa saying it's permissible. This fatwa is then shared by the Shura members saying that a fatwa has been issued against Maulana Sa'ad Damat Barakatuhum. This was also addressed in Hazrat Maulana Sa'ad Damat Barakatuhum's previous speech when someone asked about the fatwa against him. Hazrat recalled the words of Qari Tayyib Sahab, who said that Darul Ifta will respond according to how the question is framed, and it is their duty to answer. Hazrat Maulana Sa'ad Damat Barakatuhum said, Allah knows the true intentions behind the questions. The evidence is clear. After you left the Markaz in 2015 and formed a separate faction due to differences, the game of issuing fatwas began. It was after 2015 that the practice of cutting and sharing audio clips started, and it was after 2015 that accusations began to fly. The conflicts in mosque began only after you left the Nizamuddin Markaz. Hazrat, I only wish to say to you, either reconcile with one another or follow the advice of Hazrat Mufti Taqi Usmani Damat Barakatuhum. You do your work and let them do theirs. If you don't, it will be the Ummah that suffers. I humbly request you, for the sake of Allah, to write to your companions about respect and manners and remind them of Hazrat Mufti Taqi Usmani Damat Barakatuhum's advice. Yours sincerely, Kashif Abdullah, New Delhi.